Hello, I'm Sandy Priester. I am the Executive Director of LifeSpark Cancer Resources, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of history about LifeSpark, how we started, and how we got to where we are now. So our story actually starts in Hawaii. It starts at Queens Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, with a program called Bosom Buddies. This program was begun many years ago, and it offered healing touch to breast cancer patients. And Healing Touch volunteers would provide weekly healing touch sessions to breast cancer patients for 1 full year. An extraordinary program. One of the people who was very involved in that program was Ann Day. And Ann had a residence in both Hawaii and Colorado, and she wanted to bring this program to Colorado. Well, this is back in 2001. And when she talked to various hospitals, none of them were interested. There was no interest, just really zero interest. I was taking a Healing Touch Level 3 class from her at the time. We got to talking, and we cooked up a plan for how to bring that program to Colorado. At the time, I was working at an organization called Qualife Wellness Community. They had this beautiful mansion in Capitol Hill in Denver, where they offered all kinds of programs for cancer patients, including Reiki and Healing Touch and massage. And so we actually set up the program to work at this organization. We started it, we named it Healing Buddies, and our original team of people that put this program together included not only Anne, but also Lisa Anselm from Healing Touch International, and Janet Menken, the founder of Healing Touch, was on our original committee, as well as several Reiki masters, because one of the things that we decided was that Healing Touch was not enough for Colorado. We needed to include Reiki because we had so many Reiki people in Colorado. And so we expanded the program to include Reiki, and we made some other changes to the program as well when we brought it to Colorado. So Healing Buddies operated from 2002 through 2004 in this mansion in the Capitol Hill neighborhood. And then at the end of 2004, something happened, and that was that Qualife just needed to close their doors. They didn't have enough money to continue, and they needed to close. They had to close. And so LifeSpark had a choice. We could either close with them, or we could take our program somewhere else. And there were enough of us that were interested, and the program was going well, that we decided we wanted to continue the program. So we looked around, we talked to some other nonprofits. None of them were the right fit for us. It just wasn't the right time, wasn't the right fit. And so we decided to start a new nonprofit organization. So in March 25th, 2005, LifeSpark Cancer Resources was born. This was a new nonprofit that we started, and we had a lot of work to do to get this set up. We created a vision. Our vision was, and still is, to serve those with cancer by offering healing, comfort, and support. We offer peace and healing. That's what we do. And of course, we do that through the modalities of Reiki and Healing Touch. Number 2, to raise the standards of professionalism among energy-based therapists and to foster cooperation and respect between modalities. Professionalism is a really big part of this program, as you will see as we continue through this presentation, but professionalism is something that we take very seriously. Number 3, to create a climate of mutual respect between medical and energy-based professionals. So part of our vision is to make sure that there is mutual respect between our modalities, our people, and the medical people. And we do that. And number 4, to serve the medical community in supporting a holistic model of care. And this is as true today as it was when we started this organization 15 years ago. That holistic model of care is something that is slowly gaining traction. More and more hospitals and medical facilities are including whole person care and whole person modalities like the ones that we offer. So in 2005, the year we started, 15 years ago, our program, one of the changes we made is that it became, and it is to this day, a virtual organization. What that means is we don't have offices per se. We don't have a building where we offer sessions such as the organization that we started in, Qual Life Wellness Community worked out of that mansion. We don't have anything like that. We work out of other people's spaces. That gives us flexibility. It also gives us challenges, but it gives us a lot of flexibility. And it helps us to move and adapt as we need to. Some of the first places that offered a space were churches. I'm so grateful to the churches that welcomed us in when other people were not interested. They said, come on in, you can use our space. We will offer it to you for free. And the very first church that we worked out of was St. John's Episcopal Church in Denver. And we were there for a couple of years, but that was a wonderful place for us to start. And we worked out of many other churches since then. Denver Health Medical Center was also one of our first partners. It was our first medical partner and continues to partner with us. We go in and offer sessions in their infusion room. We also offer sessions in a patient examination room at Denver Health. It's a fantastic organization. They have a very, very diverse population, and it's a very interesting place to work out of. In 2007, one of the places that we started working out of was Foothills Hospital. Foothills Hospital in Boulder. At that time, it was still quite new. It had only been around for a couple of years. And they had a lot of empty space in their building because they built this great big hospital and it wasn't full yet. And so we worked out of various locations. We started in, I don't know, we might have started in like one of the second floor offices, and then, 6-8 months later, we were up on the 5th floor, and they kind of moved us around depending on what available space there was. At one point, we were in an office space that was right next to the MRI machine. And if any of you have ever had an MRI, you know that MRIs make a lot of noise, and they also kind of vibrate the whole room. So they're doing things like boom, 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 boom. I mean, they're making all these noises, and the room is just kind of shaking. And so our healing room was right next to that space. And our providers, I'll tell you, LifeSpark providers are the best. They would go in, they would just help the participant be very calm and say, we're going to do this session, it's going to be fine, and they would hold the energy of the space of calmness, and the session would go on, and it would be effective sessions, regardless of the environment and the noises that were going on around them. We ended up leaving that space in 2010. Again, they sort of filled up the hospital and didn't have space for us anymore. In 2005, this is back when we first started, another space we worked out of was the Sally Joe Breast Center, and they gave us a space in one of their offices that they weren't using very much. And we would go in there once, twice a week, give sessions. And one day, our provider, who was scheduled for that day, went into the office, and she said that everything was gone. The rooms were completely and totally empty. All of the furniture was gone, including our massage table, by the way. But everything was gone. And so she was a very quick thinking provider. She went down the hall to another office suite. This was an office suite of several offices, and they were all empty. She went down the hall to another office suite, borrowed a chair, brought the chair in, set it up. When the participant arrived, she said, well, I don't know what's happened, but we're going to go ahead and do the session anyway. And had the participant sit down in the chair and gave her a full session in the chair. When the session was over, and after the cancer patient left, she got on the phone and said, what is going on? This place is empty. Where's our massage table? And so, of course, we investigated, and we found out that they had moved the offices over the weekend, and they had a new manager at the time, and the new manager did not realize that LifeSpark was giving sessions there. Maybe she wondered why they had a massage table. But anyway, we did get our massage table back. And the cool thing about that was that because we lost our space with them, they were partnering with Swedish Medical Center at the time, and so they made the introduction to for us, and we, because of that, we began working in Swedish Medical Center. It was, I believe, it was our second medical partner, a true medical partner, that where we worked out of their radiation oncology department. And so Swedish Medical Center, we worked in a patient examination room. It was a small room. It had a examination table on it, and we used that as our table. We just kind of dimmed the lights and tried to make the environment do the best we could. That was at a time when they had overhead pagers. So a provider would be giving a session, a Reiki or healing touch session, and the overhead pager would go off and make announcements. But again, our LifeSpark providers are very adaptable, and they are the best. And they would make it work. And they had very successful, powerful sessions at Swedish Medical Center. It was a great partnership while it lasted. In 2009, Swedish decided that they needed to bring in and needed to build a linear accelerator. Linear accelerator is a huge radiation machine. In the picture, it shows one here. It shows actually the one at Swedish. And it's like a robotic machine that it moves, it swivels, it takes up a lot of space. And then the walls around it are like lead padded to contain the radiation in the room. It takes up a lot of space, and it's very expensive. And so they didn't have room for us anymore. So there again, once again, this is sort of the history of LifeSpark as we've moved in and out of various facilities. So we no longer had our space at Swedish in southern Denver, or Littleton, I believe. And because of that, we started looking around, and that's when we developed a relationship with Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. And it was the Aurora Rocky Mountain Cancer Center that invited us in first. This is a picture of their facility in Aurora. We worked out of that space for many years. They gave us space that wasn't being used at the time. Sometimes we got moved around into various locations, but it worked well. We saw a lot of patients at Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. At one point, we were working out of 5 of their locations, including Colorado Springs. And one thing led to another, and it was a good relationship while it lasted. In 2000, I believe it was 2014. They had a new CEO, and new CEOs in companies, when they come in, they have new visions, new plans. Some things are more important and some things are less important. And it became clear fairly soon that we just were no longer a priority to them. Things were just not working as well. And so we made the decision in 2015 that it was just time for us to step away and pull out of our Rocky Mountain Cancer Center locations. And so once again, we're going, okay, so we're not in this medical space anymore. Where are we going next? And as it turns out, one of our board members had a relationship with Elements Massage. And that's how we started working with Elements Massage. And they have been a fabulous partner. And by the way, just a comment on Rocky Mountain Cancer Center, even though we're not working in their spaces anymore, we still get a lot of referrals from their social workers. We still have a great relationship with them. Elements Massage is a fantastic partner. We started at the High Point location. Zach Zimmerman owned 3 of their studios, and we did a 3-month trial to see if it would work. And I'll tell you what, within the first month, it was very clear that this was a hit. I mean, our providers loved this space. This was the first time we had professional space for them to work in. We've been working in church basements, in vacant office buildings, in closets, all kinds of crazy places, patient examination rooms. This was the first time that we were actually in professional space that was designed specifically for the kind of work that we do. And our providers love working there. They have hydraulic tables. They have a waiting room for the patients. They have soft music playing in the background. It is truly a healing space. And so this has been a partnership that we've had since 2015. We have been working out of 14 of their studios from Boulder to Colorado Springs. Another partner that we have developed along the way is the Memorial Hospital. We developed that relationship in 2014, and we are still working with them. And of course, they were purchased by UC Health in, I don't know, 15, 16, I'm not sure what year it was. They've been with UC Health for a few years now. And in 2017, we were invited in by the Integrative Medicine Department at UC Health to come in and offer Reiki and Healing Touch to their cancer patients. This was a process. It was actually 2016 when they invited us to come in. It took us a year, took them and us a year to go through all of the approval process. It was quite a process to gain approvals to be in UC Health. However, now that that's done, we have everything in place, all the protocols and everything in place for all of their hospitals in the Metro Denver area. And we have a very strong likelihood of going into some additional facilities in the near future. But right now, we are working out of UC Health Anschutz Cancer Center, offering sessions to their cancer patients while they receive chemo. It works very well for us and for them. It's been quite powerful and quite a powerful relationship. And then the year 2020 came around and something unexpected happened. We had a pandemic. Everything got shut down and the whole world went virtual almost overnight. So this was a very interesting opportunity for LifeSpark. We had been talking about distance sessions and had done a few here and there over the years, but I never thought that we could introduce distant sessions to the public because I just didn't think they would understand. I didn't think that they would be accepted. But all of a sudden, everyone was on Zoom. Everyone was on the internet. Everything was virtual. And so here was our opportunity. And so we took it and we shifted our model to a distant internet session almost overnight. And we have been serving lots of patients that way. And it has been a hit because what's happened is there are no other options. If they want our services, it's either distant sessions or nothing. And so people are willing to try it, and they do try it, and they find out that they like it and it works and it's more convenient. They don't have to drive somewhere. Plus, we had lots of scheduling issues over the years, trying to fit people into the spaces and the locations where we were with the limited hours that were available. And so we actually are able to broaden our services and serve more people when we offer it as a distant option. Now, will we be going back into physical locations? Absolutely. But we are also going to keep our distant program because why not? It's working and it's a great way to serve people that otherwise cannot be served because maybe they don't live here, maybe they don't live close enough, maybe they're homebound, or various reasons why this option works very well for them. So, LifeSpark has had quite a few changes over the years. We continue to adapt, we continue to innovate, and there are many things coming that will be very exciting in our future. This is a great time to be a part of LifeSpark. And so I am grateful to you for your interest in becoming part of the LifeSpark community.